Hello, Modern Retro here. Me and Harry are playing Dear Esther. It's a game similar to The Light, if you've watched that video, but it came out before The Light. It started off as a mod. I'm pretty sure it was on the Unreal Engine, but it might not have been, I might be wrong there. But yeah.
Dear Esther, the morning after I was washed ashore, salt in my ears, sand in my mouth, and the waves always at my ankles, I felt as though everything had conspired to this one last shipwreck. I remembered nothing but water, stones in my belly and my shoes, threatening to drag me under to where only the most listless of creatures swim.
Good voice acting.
I mean, instantly, what I was saying about The Light yesterday, about you moving faster, moving too fast, like this, you move at a perfect speed, I think. Like, really slow. It fits with the music.
Yes, I fully agree there. The thing, it did make you feel a bit, a bit of motion sickness on the light. With like how it swayed you, when you moved the motion blur and stuff.
Yeah.
It was quite heavy on that.
The thing, my main criticism of Dear Esther is that there aren't enough locations like this. Like just abandoned houses and stuff that you can just walk around.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I've looked at it, like, on Steam, but that's about the extent of it.
Yeah, I think I bought this when it first came out. It's my sort of thing.
Ooh, what is that? Is it a puzzle adventure then, or is it?
No, it's literally just like, well, I guess it would be classed as an art game. So you just like walk around and that's it. And as you can tell, like at the beginning, there was no actual objective.
Yeah.
The flashlight's a lot better on this game as well.
Yeah.
You can't actually turn it on and off, it just does it automatically when it needs to, but it looks a lot better. It looks a lot more like realistic, I would say.
Yeah, it does. And no lens flares.
No.
Oh well.
Should we go down or up?
Let's go down. Look at that sea. I wonder what horrors await. Gyarados everywhere.
I mean, really, to get the full experience of this, you shouldn't be watching a video. You should actually go out and play the game yourself. It's not really the sort of game that you're supposed to talk over.
Yeah.
But we're going to do it anyway.
We're going to ruin your experience.
Yeah. I would recommend getting it if it was cheap. I know it was in the Humble Bundle a week ago, I think.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. So it would have been like 57p for this and some other things.
Yeah, it's like 8 games, isn't it?
Yeah.
8 indie games. And, sorry about that, I just kicked the tripod. 8... What is it? It's 8 indie games and 1, like, big game sort of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For like $1. Which is good. And it all goes to charity. So go look at the Humble Bundle.
Although it doesn't necessarily go to charity, you can either send it to charity or the developers themselves.
Ah, can you?
Like the Humble Bundle company doesn't take any of the money for themselves.
Those islands in the distance, I'm sure, are nothing more than relics of another time. Sleeping giants, somnambulist gods laid down for a final dream. I watch the sand from my lips and grip my wrist ever more tightly. My shaking arms will not support my fading diaries.
The music on this game is excellent.
What is that? What is that?
Some sort of map, I think.
It's interesting. It's really nice, this game. It looks really nice anyway. See, it's made on Unreal.
I think it is. I could be wrong there, though.
Yeah.
Dear Esther, I found myself to be as featureless as this ocean, as shallow
unoccupied as this bay, a listless wreck without identification. My rocks are these bones, and a careful fence to keep the precipice at bay. Shot through me in caves, my forehead a mound, this area called transmitting to me so. All over exposed, the nervous system, where Dominic's boots and yours and mine still travel. I will carry a torch for you. I will leave it at the foot of my headstone. You will need it for the tunnels that carry me under.
Can you jump or anything then, or?
Nope, literally no controls other than WASD and the mouse.
So do you have to go back now then?
Yeah, I think so.
Look at you smoothly gliding over those rocks.
Hmm.
There's not really much to say about it, is there, really?
No, I mean, like I was saying earlier, it's not really the sort of game that you're supposed to talk over.
Yeah.
It's a shame more people don't do games like this.
Yeah.
There isn't that much of a demand for them, but there are a few people that want to see more things like this.
I'm trying to think what the other one. There's another one which, well, I can't remember what it's like. What it's called, sorry. I think it's by the people that made this.
There's a game coming out, I can't remember what it's called, by the people that made this. Of course, the people that made this are also developing the new Amnesia.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, along with Frictional.
Yeah.
The Chinese Room are the people that made this.
Ah.
And they're also working on a post-apocalyptic game set in like Shropshire or something.
Really?
Yeah, and I've got a feeling it's going to be like this, but on a bigger scale.
That's cool.
Another criticism I have of this, I know I keep criticising it, I do think it's a good game, but I wish that it was more open. Like, I know it's kind of the point that there's only one path.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I would have liked the island to be like completely open so that you could go wherever you want.
Can you die?
No.
Reading Donnelly about a week after.
I was just thinking if you could fall off that the side of this cliff
followed the path
thing.
to the bay and climbed the mount. He did not find the caves, and he did not chart the north side. I think this is why his understanding of the island is flawed, incomplete. He stood on the mount and only wondered momentarily how to descend. But then he didn't have my reasons.
It's like, I kind of wish, well, I mean, I've been looking at more at Maya's Matter, and I kind of wish there wasn't, like, any enemies in it. I mean, they're not really enemies, it's just like, one, like, oh, I'll speak.
So ill they gave up what little hope they could sacrifice. They cut parallel lines into the cliff, exposing the white chalk beneath. You could see them from the mainland, the fishing boat, and know to send aid, or impose a cordon of protection. Wait a generation until whatever pestilence stalked the cliff paths died along with its hosts. My mind suggests for this. Keep any would-be rescuers at bay. Infection is not simply of the flesh.
But yeah, like I was saying, there's just like this one creature in Maya's Matter. It's like, I don't know.
It's like a lion thing,
Yeah.
isn't it?
We
Yeah.
are not like Lot's wife, you and I. We feel no particular need to turn back. There's nothing to be seen if we did. No tired old man parting the cliffs with his arms. No gifts or Bibles laid out on the sand for the taking. No tides turning the shrieking gulls overhead. The bones of the hermit are no longer laid out for the taking. I have stolen them away to the guts of this island, where the passage is all rust black, and where we can light each other's faces by their strange luminescence.
Anyway, but yeah, there's only really that. But no, I'll probably do a Let's Play of that, because it does look interesting.
What was that game that was inspired by LSD that we found a couple of days ago? Was it like The Dream?
Dream,
Yeah.
yeah.
That looks quite interesting.
It does.
Not really seen anything about that, but we'll probably play that.
Yeah,
Well, I definitely will.
when it comes out anyway.
Dear Esther, Damascus, a small semi-detached on the outskirts of Wolverhampton. We drank coffee in his kitchen, trying to connect to one another. Although he knew I hadn't come in search of an apology, reason or retribution, he still spiraled in panic, thrown high and lucid by his own dented bonnet. Responsibility had made him old. Like us, he'd already passed beyond any conceivable boundary of life.
So, what I do like about this is, although there isn't an objective, you feel that you make yourself an objective. So, like, automatically when you see this big flashing tower that you can see ahead, you automatically think, I'm going to go towards that. And that's cool.
Yeah, I know what you mean. You kind of... I mean, I know it's not really the same, but like, you have the... You kind of set yourself the objectives in things like DayZ, don't you? You don't have a... Obviously, there's the obvious objective of surviving, but... You know, you set your own goals and standards as to where to, you know...
Yeah.
Where to go and what to find, whether or not you're going to kill people or not. If you can actually kill people with those bloody... on that engine. Jesus. Oh dear. I'd like to meet someone who actually has played through Armour for the fun of it.
Yeah, I can't.
No.
A chemistry book and what looks like some kind of Bible on the floor.
Well, if we knew chemistry stuff, probably know what that was. So, how old is this protagonist?
I don't know, I'd say like middle-aged.
Do we know anything about this protagonist, or is that just a narrator, or is he...
No, that is the character talking.
Right. But we don't really know anything about him.
No, you do learn a lot more about him towards the end.
Right.
Because he carries on talking about his life. The thing I like about games like this is there is like this element of horror. Like, even though there is nothing there,
you feel like something's gonna...
Yeah, you feel like there is gonna be something.
Like The Light yesterday, we thought something would come out and give us a jump scare throughout.
Although the Light did it a lot less subtly than this.
Yeah, definitely.
Like with the screams and the loud music and stuff.
Dear Esther, I have now driven the stretch of the M5 between Exeter and Bristol over 21 times. But although I have all the reports and all the witnesses, and have cross-referenced them within a millimetre using my ordnance survey maps, I simply cannot find the location. You'd think there would be marks to serve as some evidence. It's somewhere between the turn off for Sanford and the welcome brake services. But although I can always see it in my rearview mirror, I have as yet been unable to pull ashore.
So what is he looking for, or do we just wait and find that out?
Just wait and find it out.
Okay. There's a lot of wrecked ships around here, isn't there? And boats and stuff. Unless that's what he's looking for. Is that what he's looking for, that ship?
I don't think he'd be looking for that ship on the M5.
Oh yeah. He might be. It might have, you know, flew a bit.
Yeah, it would be really cool if you could go inside that boat. But from my previous playthrough, you can go down there, but you can't get inside the boat.
Oh damn!
It's kind of a little bit disappointing. I just wish there was more small things.
Yeah.
I've begun to wonder if Donnelly's voyage here was as prosaic as it was presented. How disappointed not to have found the bones of the holy man. No wonder he hated the inhabitants so. To him they must have seemed like barnacles, mindlessly clinging to a mercy seat. Why cling so hard to the rock? Because it is the only thing that stops us from sliding into the ocean. Into oblivion.
You know, actually, I think that this was a mod for Source.
Oh yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I remember now.
Not Unreal.
You know, you can kind of tell with the hills.
Yeah, you can kind of tell with the way it moves as well.
Yeah.
I think this is on Source as well.
Heavily modded, obviously.
Yeah.
Looks very nice.
It might not even be on Source, I don't know.
Yeah.
Kind of feels like it is though.
I think I remember reading it was Source.
Yeah, the mod was.
And that
I'm
ship
pretty sure.
looks very Half-Life like.
Hmm.
I wonder what's in these crates.
Can't open them. There's no interact button.
There must be a hole in the bottom of the road. How else could new hermits have arrived?
So where's this set then? Just over?
I don't know. It might not be set anywhere in particular.
Mm.
It's clearly very British.
Yeah.
No, I think a lot of people wouldn't understand the M5 thing earlier.
No. No. I'm really interested in this post-apocalyptic thing that they're doing. Shropshire.
I can't remember what it's called. The actual game.
Hmm.
Little outlining your speech by the blur. Now my stones have grown to an island and made their escape. And you've been rendered as a paper by the carve of the ground.
You were saying?
Yeah, basically what they've said about this new game that they're doing is they want it to be more interactive. So basically all my criticisms of this game they've took into consideration for the next game.
Yeah.
So hopefully the next game will be really good.
Hopefully. Red Mist. Can you actually get to the flashing tower place then?
Mm-hmm.
I began my ascent on the windless slope of the western side. The setting sun, with an inflamed eye squeezing shut against the light, shone in by the doctors. My neck is aching through constantly craning my head up to track the light of the aerial. I must look downwards, follow the path under the island to a new beginning.
I just wish there were more buildings to explore.
Yeah. I suppose with the setting, it kind of makes sense that there isn't that many.
Yeah, but for the sake of the game,
Yeah.
they could have put a few more in. Just more interiors. Although the exterior does look really good, it does get a bit boring after a while.
Yeah.
The bothy was constructed originally in the early 1700s. By then, shepherding had formalized into a career. The first habitual shepherd was a man called Jacobson, from a lineage of migratory Scandinavians. He was not considered a man of breeding by the mainland. He came here every summer whilst building the bothy, hoping eventually that becoming a man of property would secure him a wife and lineage. Donnelly recalls that it did not. He caught some disease from his malcontented goats and died 2 years after completing it. There's no one to carve white lines into the cliff with him either.
I wonder what all of these symbols actually mean.
Yeah. This is a really good soundtrack.
It is, yeah.
Do you know who made it, or is it?
No, I've got no idea. I do have it. I think if you just get the game, it gives it you.
Cool.
They call it soon
I
done.
think, anyway.
They did all contents: my camp bed, a stove, a table, chairs, my clothes, my books. The caves that score out the belly of this island leave me famished. My limbs and belly famished. This skin, these organs, this failing eyesight. When the battery runs out in my torch, I will descend into the caves and follow only the phosphorescence home.
That mocking gull, mocking everything with its mocking ways. So how linear is this then? It's
Very.
Yeah.
It's basically only like 2 paths at a time, and both of them lead to the same place. Or one of them leads to a dead end and you have to turn around and go down the other one.
Yeah. Just like earlier.
Yeah. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing, it's just, if they were going to do that, what they should have done is filled it with more interesting things.
Yeah. Is there, are there multiple endings? Oh, no, wait.
It is clearly not how he began. I've been unable to discover if the former was a result of his visiting the island, or the force that drove him here. For the syphilis, a drunk driver smashing his insides into a pulp as he stumbled these paths, I can only offer my empathy. We're all victims of our age. My disease is the internal combustion, the cheap fermentation waste.
But
The voice actor sounds like Daniel from Amnesia.
yeah,
I'm not sure if it is, but like, that would explain the link between this company and Frictional.
The
Yeah.
fall had only just come. Even though he'd been dead nearly 7 months, his body had been frozen right down to the nerves and had not even begun to decompose. All around him, small flowers were reaching the weak side. The goats had adjusted happily to life without a shepherd and were grazing freely about the valley. Donnelly reports they hurled the body in fear and disgust down the shaft, but I cannot corroborate this story.
But yeah, is there, as I was saying, is there multiple endings to this then? Or
No, there's just the one.
just one ending?
Yeah. I mean, the thing that I mentioned yesterday, that it was like slightly randomised. The thing that's randomised is what he says.
Oh,
So like some of this stuff that he's saying I've never heard.
yeah.
So I guess the plan for that was to increase the replayability, because you learn new stuff about this character every time you play. But I'm not quite sure that actually works.
Yeah.
I don't think it's enough of a reason to like play the game again.
Climbing down to the caves, I slipped and fell and injured my leg. I think the femur is broken. It is clearly infected. The skin has turned a bright, tight pink, and the pain is crashing in on waves. Winter tides against my shoreline, drowning out the ache of my stones. I struggled back to the bothy to rest, but it has become clear that there is only one way this is likely to end. The medical supplies I looted from the trawler have suddenly found their purpose. They will keep me lucid for my final ascent.
So
there, the soundtrack turned a bit darker.
Yeah.
Darker.
It feels a lot like it feels a lot like he's reading it's not him. It's like somebody's reading his diary.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's supposed to be like
What?
He's supposed to be like almost keeping a diary by talking to himself.
Yeah.
Like this is his diary.
Oh dear. Thought it was going to crash then.
Just keep lagging a little bit, and my mouse is a little bit like stiff for some reason.
Yeah. Whee! I assume that's what he was saying about when he broke his... Is that right?
Yeah, I think he was talking about a time that he was here before
Yeah.
then.